Hey guys, welcome back. Thank you for watching my channel. This is Breaking Burke. It is about houseplants and gardening in the desert of Albuquerque, New Mexico. It is a little breezy today and I'm sorry about that if that comes through and ruins the audio. There's not much I can do about that at this point. But I do want to show a little inexpensive planter I'm putting together. Now this has become a trend and I've been doing it for years. Buying cheaper houseplants and putting them outside if they make it through the summer. Nice, I got another houseplant for inside. It's probably a little bit bigger than I could have afforded in the first place. There are a couple things you do have to watch out with this. One main thing you have to watch out is bringing bugs in your house. Now, if you're using potting soil, you have bugs. Doesn't matter whether you know it or not, there are bugs in the soil, and it's just a fact of life. Sorry to tell you. You will have to spray and you do have to stay on it to make sure that your plants don't get out of control and that you don't have an invasion or an infestation of bugs. But I have seen these done with nice, huge, pretty, extravagant houseplants, and I can't even afford that for inside my house, let alone for outside. So I did want to show people out there who are on a budget there is something you can do as well. That won't break the bank, that will bring some impact, and who knows, maybe you'll actually have some extra plants when you have to bring them in at the end of the season. Now the tricky thing about this is knowing when to bring them in. If you bring them in too late and they get hit by the cold, you can lose or damage plants severely. I've damaged some before. I mean, hey, it's fine. They're plants, they grow back. If not, you can get another. That is kind of wasteful, but like I said, it's gardening, nothing's guaranteed, and if you can enjoy it for a season, it wasn't a waste. I'm just going to dissect this a little and show you what we have here. We have a Bettina ivy, a little bit of variegation, very pretty. I think that will make a nice spillover plant. Now, I've never had ivy before. I've tried growing it a couple times from cuttings, never worked. I have heard they're awful with bugs, so that's why I'm keeping it outside. You can see here I have two autumn joy sedums. These were propagations, so these didn't cost me anything but the 10 cents of soil. If I can find a place to put them over here. This is a croton, Petra croton, it says. You can see this has some nice color variation, some yellow, some red, some green. Very pretty. It is actually growing there in the center, if we can highlight that. So I've put these outside before. They can't take too much sun, but they can take the sun. Where I plan on putting this, like most people who put houseplants outside, is in a porch or overhang of my house. This is a magenta dracaena. Now, these three that I did show you that are in these colorful pots that I paid for, I only paid $4 a piece. So if I lose $12 a plants, that's, you know, a decent annual anyway. And it's not like there's something super rare or that anyone's really gonna miss. You can see I am throwing a starter fertilizer. You can do this inside with your houseplants as well, a starter fertilizer. However, this starter fertilizer that I use, well, it's made from animal byproducts. The animals make the byproduct, if you know what I mean. So, nothing that you really want to have your house smelling like. You can see the roots on this. Very nice. When they are coming out like that, just give it a little tug from the top. They'll pull out. It's not root bound. We don't have to break them apart. That's going to be a little bit of a filler in the back. It will add some color with that maroon color, and the texture of the foliage will definitely do something as well. The grassy-like leaves. Here is the croton. You can see, again, nice little root-bound specimen. Someone's doing their job right. Took me enough time to find these, but you know. Thank you, one location. And of course this one that I always have issues with is the worst one. Very minor roots coming out the bottom. And let's see if I can get it out. And you can see the roots are very fine, nothing too extravagant, extreme. I'm gonna put that as close as I can to the front so it can spill out. This might take a little bit of rearranging, nothing too crazy. I'm just gonna fill in a couple of the voids around it that are gonna be harder to reach. Usually if you can get the part in front of the root ball between the pot and the root ball filled in, that helps immensely. Now these propagations that I did, I don't know if I said what type they are. It's a autumn joy sedum. So it does have fleshy leaves. It almost looks like a calancho, but it's not. These will eventually form mounds. They are perennial in my area, so even if I leave them in the pot, they should come back and I could have a nice little beginning of an arrangement for next year without having to do much. And like I said, they are propagation, so not an immense root ball, but it did hold together. So I think those will look nice. Those do eventually make like a 1 to 2 foot round mound, and then in the fall, that's why they call it autumn joy, they throw out a little bouquet of pink flowers. Really cute. And you can see I could have probably thrown a couple more plants in, but I want to give these room to grow. I don't want to suffocate them, and I don't want the roots to be fighting each other. And that's the problem with some of these plantings, especially if you plan on taking it out in the fall. Technically you could take this whole thing inside. This is, however, a decent sized vase or pot, and I wouldn't have room for something like that inside, so I won't. But you can see it does the job. A little bit of pretty, some inexpensive houseplants that maybe cost I'd say $15 to $20 by the time you add the soil and the fertilizer and the can of spray paint, because like I said, this was a free pot. It was ugly, it was plastic terracotta. I spray painted it, and I did intentionally leave it like that. I let the paint run. I wanted it to try and look like it was a clay pot that was glazed. Obviously it isn't, but let me see here. Just do a little above shot so you can see. There is a void in the middle, so things can fill out and they won't be fighting each other, because they will grow. Don't think it's not going to grow because they're inside plants. They will grow, probably even better than they would if they were inside. This here should be a nice little spillover. These will provide flowers in the fall, so we do get some blooms. Nothing else is going to bloom, but it will be pretty. It will have texture, and it's a way to make a inexpensive, versatile, inside-outside grouping of plants that works on a budget. Thank you for watching, and I hope this provided you with a couple ideas that won't break the bank for some indoor plants outside. Make sure you do watch them and that they don't burn. You might have to move them around. Thank you.